You're now tuning into
The Cover Gang.
What's going on, Cover Gang? We're here to recap our Week 9 picks against the spread and their performance, and some general takeaways, who to love, who to hate, who to fade, and Week 10 coming up. And then lastly, after we go over our general takeaways from Week 9, we'll give our coveted look ahead for the Thursday night football matchup between the Panthers and the Bears. So we won our last week's pick with the Steelers on Thursday Night Football, so we're still undefeated on the Titans games this year, keeping that streak alive. That's 8-0 against betting against the Titans, for them against them at each game this year. So pretty crazy. I don't know. We got a controversial one with them against the Bucks this week, so we'll see where we land on that one. But pretty good week for me. I went 10-4. Tyler, you went 7-7 after those two night games that were just blemishes on our picks for Week 9. I was good if we just ended it after the afternoon games, because we were both up, and those two night games were just disappointing. But I don't know.
It's my, I've had, every week we've done this, I've been over 500 except for twice, and I went 500 both times. So this is the second week that's happened. I went 7-7. It hurts because I am down units this week for the first time this year. The other week I went 7-7. I was still up. But if you would have told me going into the week that Chiefs, Eagles, Bengals, all three very public side, all three of those teams would have won and covered, I would have said you're crazy. So still to be 500 with those three losses, because I faded all three. I don't hate where I'm sitting. I do hate that this is the first time I've had to pay out all year. I made it. I thought I could make it halfway through the year without paying a dime, and here I am on Week 9 paying out.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Congrats to you though, 10-4. First time I think you've hit double digits this year.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good. I think I hit it once, but I had all 16 games. I went like 10-6 or something. So that's really good on your part. And then you lost the last two games. You lost Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. So could have even had a better record. But we felt weird about the Ravens Seahawks game. Kind of something to think about going forward when we have that. We've had that feeling a couple times this year. Just went with the points when we knew it was a bad spot for a good team going to play a better team. So, and you might see that in the upcoming videos this week. But like I said, 7-7, props to you. 10-4. You closed the gap on the overall games too. I think I'm only beating you by one game now on the year.
Yeah, I think our official records are you're 76-56, 57.5% win rate, and then I'm 75-57. So I'm just one game back. I mean, it's been crazy because if you counted up how many times we've disagreed, it's got to be at least like 30 games. I don't know. And we still are within one game, but I don't know.
Right.
Sitting at 57%.
But we disagreed. Last week was the most we disagreed, I think, all year, and it was 5 games. And we were texting back and forth. We were like, it's got to be like a 2 or 3 or 3-2. And I did think I got unlucky on the Dallas game, and Dolphins just killed themselves with penalties in that first half, and then that Tyreek play was horrific.
Yeah.
But it's bad. Some bad beats here and there, but I went 1-4 in those games, so props to you.
Yeah, some games.
That's how we do it.
Some of those games definitely, 50-50 things went my way. Definitely the Cowboys-Eagles one. I feel like I just escaped on a lucky, miss on that 2-point conversion where Dak stepped out, and then the Chiefs. Like I told you off the air, I was like the sharp line movement. It definitely was worrisome. If we had done the picks later in the week, I would have taken the Dolphins, just because 9 times out of 10, when you see early line movement like that and then it gets bet back down pretty hard, the sharps came in on the Dolphins. So it was worrisome going into that one. But it went kind of how I was predicting, with the being an under kind of a game instead of an over and not a shootout in Germany. But credit to Steve Spagnuolo, cooking up a good defensive scheme for that Dolphins, and especially in the first half. I mean, they adjusted, but that's really the difference, and it still rings true that the Dolphins struggle against good defenses right now, and we have to just handicap them that way.
I mean, as of right now, the Ravens are looking amazing, but the Eagles, Chiefs, Bengals look like they're catching fire. 49ers fell back a little bit, but there's flaws on all these teams. Like Kansas City being up 21-0 at halftime with a defensive touchdown, like they let Miami hang around. It's just
That offense is not the same. It doesn't pull away from teams for
yeah,
sure.
it doesn't. They can't put teams away with that receiving core right now. And Philadelphia, even though they beat Dallas at home, like for the majority of that game, I thought Dallas looked like the better team. So it's still up in the air. That's why it's the NFL. It's why we love it. But but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, 10-4. I, I hope to go that this week. Yeah, that's a great record,
Oh, 100.
picking every single game. And I think your only double unit play that we both hit on that one because
Turned out to be
the
a
kicker
sweat.
went out at halftime. Yeah,
Yeah.
we covered by a half point on that Bucks Texans game. So shout out to the kicker going out at halftime.
Shout out Robbie, your friend, for being the midway through the year Pick'em's leader right now. He got that in-season prize for being number 1 out of 107. So, and we're right there behind him. You're sitting at 3rd, and I'm 9th out of 107. So, and our
Yeah,
best sevens contest that we're in, I mean, we're right there knocking on the door. So, shout out Robbie though. Good stuff. I know that prize money will definitely feel pretty nice midway through the year. But
yep, 100%.
yeah, so one of the sharper plays that you were on that it could have been a near flawless week for me is if I had just not taken the Rams because that looked gross. It ended up later in the week seeming like Stafford was going to play, and then it was Brett Ripien, and it was like, all right, well, I guess the line
Yeah, it was
movement.
dead from the beginning.
Yeah, like I guess I was toast from the start. But yeah, definitely a sharp bounce back for the Packers. One of the bigger, I think, sharp plays that was a disappointment was the Patriots, and like you were pretty heavy on that one. Some pros were heavy on the Patriots early, but I said it to you, and I don't know, like I still believe that Belichick just cannot be handicapped based on his prior resume with Brady. Like all those trends, statistics is just, I don't know, for them to go into this kind of game and just not get it done and not even cover. It's not something that we're used to seeing. I mean, I think everybody can admit that, but it's
Yeah, yeah. Belichick, he's definitely one of the coaches on the hot seat. I didn't think I'd be saying that. I thought he would just retire a Patriot, but they need some type of change. I think he's done so much for the organization that they'll probably just change something like, they just won't have him drafting players anymore because he can't find any offensive talent
right.
as far as position players. But
Yeah, they've
I
got.
don't know. They play overseas against the Colts this week, and if it's just, yeah, you just can't give them that handicap anymore.
It's like when a team, they've been doing so bad, but then when they're going into Foxborough, it's like all the feelings and the makings of like a sharp side to take the Pats at home to get right, and it just nope. I don't know. That's the shock. I think the Bills too. That was the biggest disappointment for me because I felt like on every level, like that is exactly what we do. Like Bengals are getting hot. The Bills have just been fading away the past 3 weeks, and all the public is on the Bengals. That late sharp line movement though, where it was sitting at 2.5, and then it comes down to 2, 1.5, similar to the Chiefs Dolphins, and it just doesn't matter. Like
Doesn't hit.
everything that we look for in a nice real hype game. Everyone loves the Bengals in that spot. I mean, it was just it's Bill's team, man. I hate them.
I told I said Sunday morning a few people had called and asked for a few locks, and I said as of right now sharps are really loving Packers, Raiders, and Bills, and yeah, 2 out of 3 hit. If those who made those plays, but I can't believe the Bills didn't cover that game either. That
Right.
it was very like you said, it kind of was checked every box when it comes to a gambler standpoint, and for them to lose by 5, it just who know. I mean, the public got back in. They got kind of screwed the past couple weeks, and then this week they're sitting pretty in a few of these games. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna stick to what I do, which is take the side that you won't take. Not you personally, but most people watching. I'll take the nasty stuff, and it'll work out in the end. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's tough sitting at 7-7 with those 3 public teams. Kansas City wasn't at home, but still public favorites like that, all going 0-3 against the spread.
Right.
Where they're going 3-0, me going 0-3. I just
Yeah,
yeah.
it doesn't usually play out that way.
I've had to get away from football for a couple days, and with as bad, even though we're gonna make a pick, and I'm still gonna put a little bit of money on it on this Thursday night game. With it being Panthers and Bears, I think I'm just gonna go watch that new Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Killer of the Flower Moon, Thursday. Just kind of get my mind off football for a little bit. Bounce back because, like I said, it's the first time I've had to pay in yet. So
Yeah.
it's just I gotta lick my wounds at this point.
Yeah, I feel that. Hey, you're not missing out on much when you got the Panthers at the Bears on Thursday. So you go enjoy
Yeah.
that. Leo's probably a lot more entertaining than that one. But another game that was insane. I did not expect it to be a shootout. Was that Texans and the Bucks game? I mean,
Yeah.
who would have guessed that? I thought it was going to be defensive, but CJ Stroud again, he's doing things that in situations that rookies usually don't do, and he's just excelling under pressure. And I don't know, he's definitely a fan favorite, but it's just, I mean, it's hard to not like the guy. I mean, he's got all the makings for an NFL quarterback, and he's showing why, like, right off the bat. And a bad organization, too. I mean, really, this team was horrible last year, the worst team in the NFL. So,
Yeah, with receivers that I didn't even really know coming into the season, what Nico Collins and Tank Dell, and
yeah.
it's just he's doing his thing. Good for him. Good for that Texans team. I do think that I get on here every week and say it. I think he'll go through some growing pains. They got a tough test this week going into Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So putting up 39 points at home. Even though Bucks defense is pretty solid going into Cincinnati, he'll probably get humbled a little bit coming off that big of a game. But we'll see. That's a pretty big spread. We'll see what we lie later on in the week when we post those videos.
Yeah. And when I was taking my notes on Sunday, like the first half of that Bears Saints game, I was like, oh, yeah, I nailed this one. And I was like, Tyson Bagent, I was like, who is Justin Fields? Like, this guy is. He really was starting to generate some chemistry with Cole Kmet. I mean, he had like 8 targets in that game, and he ended up linking up with him 2 touchdowns. I was like, hey, this is looking all right, without Justin Fields. But then, second half, he had all those turnovers, and I was like, okay, never mind. We'll still consider him just a backup. But yeah, Browns shut out the Cards. That crazy comeback win by the Vikings with Josh Dobbs. That was pretty crazy. I mean, we said fade the Falcons as laying a -4.5 and a -5. No way that team should be favored that much against anyone. So that was a good sharp play for us. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just hope to get back to it in week 10. I mean, we're doing pretty good halfway through the season. Can't believe it's already halfway. But anything else you want to talk about week 9, or are you ready to move on from that?
No, like I said, I'm in forgetting it mode.
Yeah.
I'll dial it back in for the in the next couple days and try to get my mind right as far as these spreads that came out. I've glanced at them, but haven't put too much thought in what I think is sharp and what I think the public's gonna be coming in on, things like that, matchups, coaching matchups, whatever. So all the things I do before I get on here and make my picks, I haven't started to do yet. Like I said, I'm just getting away from football for a little bit.
I see that we both got the no shave November going on though, so
Yeah, my sides aren't coming in good. The mustache, I think I'm just good. It's been a weekend. I think I'm shaving tomorrow morning before work. It's just I can't stand it.
we got the exact opposite going on. It's like I got no stash, you got the stash and nothing else.
Yeah, nothing else grows. I'll just always shaved every other day, and then I was like, well, we'll see if anything grows. And like, nope, it's like I'm still a teenage boy.
All right, without further ado, let's get into that Thursday night football look ahead. We got the Panthers at the Bears. So the early line movement pushed
Marquee matchup.
The early line movement pushed the Bears from -3 to 3.5, 4. There's a 4 out there on some books right now. I don't know about you, but I think this is an easy decision. I mean, take the points and the Panthers. Who are the Bears to be getting 4-point favorite lines versus anyone? I mean, same concept versus the Vikings-Falcons matchup last week. Look, the Bears, they played well in that first half versus the Saints, and the Panthers, their defense played well minus Bryce Young throwing those 2 pick sixes. If he didn't do that, they were probably in that game a lot more than the scoreboard would have shown. But yeah, I just think it's a good bounce back spot for the Panthers. The Bears usually suck in night games and primetime spots. We could be getting Justin Fields back in this one, and I mean the line kind of indicates that that's the case, but I'm not worried about that. I mean, he's probably gonna have just a little bit of rust. And the offense was doing all right without him. I mean, they have been covering a little bit better. So I think it's an easy decision, regular unit on the Panthers +4 for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the Panthers defense done what I thought they would do. That's another game we disagreed on. You were on Colts, I was on Panthers, and Minshew didn't have a good day. I think Jonathan Taylor only ran for like 40 some yards, 46 yards, I believe. And it was just those, Bryce Young gave the Colts 14 points. That was the game.
Yeah.
So it's part of betting on a rookie quarterback. But they were able to move the ball up and down the field, which was good signs compared to the beginning of the year. The defense played better than after the bye, but yeah, I'm taking Panthers +4 regular unit play as well. I'd rather Tyson be out there than Justin Fields, because Justin Fields, even though he's not the most consistent quarterback, he does have a knockout punch aspect. I mean, he's a big talent in the league. So if he was to come back, fresh and playing in Chicago against, obviously Panthers I think they won 1 game all year, so he could show out a little bit. But that's what the public's probably perceiving after they were able to hang around with the Saints all game and Carolina got blew out by the Colts at home. So I am taking the points and the Panthers. I agree with you.
Yep, let's get right back to it. I don't hate it. I usually hate the Thursday night lines like more than
I hate the game. I don't hate the play.
I like the play. It's like a regular unit. I don't feel bad about it. Just
I hate the thought of like that Thursday. I mean, that's one of my football days, and it's Panthers Bears. Like, gosh.
For sure. Yeah, it's 2 of the lackluster teams, we'll say that. But thanks for tuning in. Smash the like button if you're ready for Week 10 Cover Gang action. Hopefully we get right back to it in Week 10 and stay profitable, keep this train rolling. So thanks for tuning in. Let's cover the spread as always. Peace.
Peace.